What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody is doing well today. Today I bring to you a highly requested video. This is one of them ones. James Acaster. Here we go, man. I once spent the night in a bush in Basingstoke. You spent the night in a bush? All right. I mean, I know a few people that got kicked out of their house or, was lost for the night. And, unfortunately, they had to spend the night outside, Us as human beings, we are designed, we are developed, we are equipped with the abilities, should I say, to be able to sleep outside, man, in the wilderness. For one night, we'll be fine. In a bush, I don't know whether to believe James or not, but he has done some pretty odd things, and we all have been through some pretty odd and weird situations in our life that people probably wouldn't believe. So let's go ahead and jump right into this, continuing our Would I Lie to You journey.
I once spent the night in a bush in Basingstoke.
David's team.
Right. That's a true.
Yeah.
That's a true. Yeah,
Definitely.
Why were you spending the night in a bush in Basingstoke?
I missed my train.
Where do you live?
Well, at the time, I lived in Kettering in Northamptonshire.
Right.
Okay. I can say if he was living at if he was staying at a hotel or something, then, it was checkout and he couldn't go back because it's checkout, he's gone. You gotta sleep in that bush, man. You ain't got no room. You missed your train. But, okay, let's see. That's what I would say. But if he lives there, then just go back home.
Where do you live?
Well, at the time, I lived in Kettering in Northamptonshire,
right.
Rose of the Shires.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you go to a luxury hotel?
Well, David, at the time, I had no money in my wallet at all, and my phone was dead. I had no way of contacting anyone.
That certainly adds up.
Why a bush? Why not a bench or, somewhere warmer than a bush?
Well, is a bench warmer than a bush? I would say a bush is warmer than a bench. A bench is definitely colder than a bush. It's more exposed.
There's an old saying, you're warmer in a bush than on a bench.
So where was the bush? Paint the picture of the local
It was right
area.
in front of the train station. And there was a little, pick-up point for taxis and stuff. And then it went down a little bit to the road. And then right in front of the road, just a load of bushes.
So you didn't look for a long time for a particularly comfy spot?
I'll level with you, David. The amount of time it took me to decide to sleep in the bush was embarrassingly short.
Right. Was it? Now, that does surprise me. It was a quick decision. You've missed your train, and you go, right, that's it. And you immediately, 14 seconds later, you're snoring.
Well, I actually didn't
I would sleep in the bush. Like, what? Okay.
get to sleep. It was scary. I was freezing, actually. Even though the bush, it was a nice, roomy bush.
Can you remember the shape of the leaves?
What?
It was like small little Basingstoke leaves.
Individual leaves?
Yeah.
Variegated?
But, OK, you have to explain what that word means.
It means this sort of, there's a sort of white bit on the outside, I think.
I wasn't paying attention to the leaves. I had bigger problems at the time. I wasn't sitting in the bush going, one day, I may have to justify this entire experience on what I like. I better memorise the leaves and whether they're gentrified or whatever you said.
So, James, you've settled down in the bush
Yes.
and you're lying there, but it's cold.
Oh, I'm sitting there.
Sitting in the bush?
Sitting there, cross-legged and cold. I had a T-shirt on.
How are you going to go to sleep sitting?
I was scared. So I hadn't really... it was Friday night in Basingstoke. There were hoodlums around.
And all you had on was a T-shirt.
And jeans.
And jeans, of course.
Yes.
I still feel like the bench is warmer.
So, did anybody hear you in the bush and come and
At
investigate?
one point they did. At one point some hoodlums stopped outside the bush. They said, you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't beaten someone up in a while. That's how they speak, David. Bullies speak like that to each other. And I was in the bush, and at the time I was wearing a red dress.
What did you say? What?
I was wearing a dress by now.
Why? You said you're in a T-shirt.
Originally I was in a T-shirt, and then I had to put a dress on.
Why did you put a dress on?
Why?
It was cold.
Where did you get a dress from?
I had it in a bag.
Why?
I was making a short film, and I had to buy the wardrobe for the cast.
You're in the bush.
The hoodlums had moved on. They didn't beat you up.
I tricked them. I put the bag over my head.
You seriously put the bag over your head?
Yeah, put yourself in my shoes. They're saying they want to beat someone up. If they look down and see me wearing a dress, it'll be like Christmas. So, I put the bag over my head, and now if they look down, they'll think someone's left a bag and a dismembered body in a bush.
People at home, don't put bags on your heads.
No.
Let's go back to the temperature of this bush now. You said you went into the dress for warmth, but surely the jeans and the T-shirt were warmer than the dress. There's a lot of ventilation.
I think he said he put the dress on over.
I don't think he took the jeans and the T-shirt.
Oh, it was double.
Yeah, no, but he didn't slip out of the jeans and the T-shirt, fold them up nicely at the side, and then get the dress and put it on and go, oh, I look wonderful. He wasn't doing that.
Oh, right.
By the end of the night, he's wearing the jeans, the T-shirt, the dress, and the bag.
May I just say, it's lucky this didn't happen to Melvin, because if so, he'd have been on a bench wearing a dress and nothing else.
Let's go for a guess. Is he telling the truth? Melvin, what do you think?
I think, looking at James, I can believe that he could put on a dress with a bag over his jeans and T-shirt, but a man that picks a bush over a bench, I can't trust.
I know. What's wrong with the bush? What the bush look like, man? He should have took a picture of it. What the bush look like, man? We got to see the bush. How big was it? Were you able to go on the inside of the bush and just kind of sleep and be comfortable? I mean, that's kind of cool. You know, versus the bench and you just laying out being exposed in front of everyone. We do have some people that will still violate you if they see you sleeping on a bench in public. Some nasty people in this world. So, I mean, you know, you don't want nobody messing with you or your stuff, and, you know, you don't want to be out there exposed. So a bush was probably more comfortable and, you know, more safe. Should I say a safer environment, more enclosed, more comfortable for him. And that's crazy, though. A jean shirt, dress, like a dress for the cast for a short film. I don't know whether to believe that or not, because it's like, I just really don't know whether to go with true or false for this one, because he said he had no money. And this is for a short film. So how recent ago was this? You know, how long ago was it? You know, was this before your career took off? When you had no money? Like, when was this? They should have asked him that, because if he said recently, we would be like, all right, man, stop it. Will we like a couple mil up? James probably like a couple mil up or something. He got that money in the bank. I know he do, for sure. A couple hundreds of thousands or something. He got something. He's sitting on money. He ain't poor. So for him to say, oh, this recently, you're lying. They should have asked him how long ago. Now, if he said, you know, this was like before I met all you guys, and this when I was here, then okay. In this case, I really do feel like he's telling the truth, but I really want to say lie. I really want to say lie off of the simple fact that, you know, man, just go back and get another place. Go home. Did you know anybody? You know, you couldn't find a shelter. You couldn't go stay indoors somewhere, like maybe, I don't know, a pub or a restaurant, a fast food place. Do they let you just sit in there and just chill? I know a couple people that, you know, after basketball at the park or something, they go right to Mickey D's and they sit inside and don't buy no food. They just sit there for the Wi-Fi and the air conditioning, and they don't get hassled to buy no food. So you could have just chilled out there for a couple hours. Said you're waiting for your next train. Nobody had to know. Next shift, they would have swapped. Next person would have came in for next shift. Nobody would have knew nothing. Like, I just really don't know what to believe anymore, you know. This game, it is like a wake-up call for a lot of people. You know, don't just believe anything that people are saying. But yet again, don't underestimate the things that people tell you as well. And do not judge a book by its cover. My boy James Acaster survived a night outside in a bush. He had thugs. He had hooligans around. They wanted to beat. They wanted to pound on somebody. They wanted to beat on somebody, man. And James was out there at the bottom of that bush, being brave, holding it down. It was a survival tactic. Look, that was his instincts right there. He had to survive. You know, you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think? Is James telling the truth or is he lying? I don't know. I just got to listen a little bit more, man. I can't really make my final decision yet.
With a bag over his jeans and T-shirt, but a man that picks a bush over a bench, I can't trust. So on that basis, it's a lie.
Oh, wow.
Faye.
I've got to absolutely say it's true. I'm believing every element, really.
I'm going to go true.
I'm going to go true. Yeah. I'm going to go true. I'm going to go true. The bush was a smarter option than the bench. I don't know why he's saying that. unless you slept under the bench. But why are you sleeping on the cold bench? Like, you know, the bush was a smart option. His story, you know, kind of checks out, man. I mean, he didn't make no mistakes. You know, he answered everyone's questions. He was pretty smooth with it, like always. Maybe we should have backtracked and asked him some more questions or the same questions again just to see his response. But, he probably practiced this in the mirror a few times. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm going with true. What are you guys going with, man? We're going with true. Oh, my goodness. Look, $1 million on the line right now. Put it all on the line. Look, it's for all the marbles.
You're saying true, right.
It's for all the marbles.
James, was it true or was it a lie?
It's true.
Yes! Oh, my God. You slept in a bush? You slept in a bush, man? In Basingstoke. What? Basingstoke? I gotta look up Basingstoke train station. And I gotta go on Google Maps and go around the area and try to see, like, the line of bushes near the street where he was talking about. He said it went down a little bit, but it was, like, right in front of the street. We gotta go ahead and check that out, man. Once again, we guessed correctly. It's not about that, but it's just the fun of it and joining along and participating with this show. Continuing our successful journey of Would I Lie to You? I'm enjoying this show. Somebody said, Strac, you know, do you think you'll ever get annoyed or, you know, will this show ever get repetitive to you? Absolutely not, because every single episode is completely different. It's not like we watching the same exact thing every single day trying to, you know, memorize the words and everything word for word. No, this every day is something brand new and different. And you know, I wake up every day happy and excited and anxious knowing I get to react to these wonderful shows, man. Let me know what you decided in the comments down below. Was he lying or telling the truth? And have you yourself or any friends or family members, you know, had to spend the night outside, you know, in a bush or on a bench, under a car, or just anywhere, man? Have you ever had to spend the night outside, you know, at like a local place rather than your home? And what was the reasoning, man? What was the reasoning behind it? Please feel free to share if you're comfortable. You know, I cannot force you guys to share any information or any stories you are not comfortable with. That is not what I'm about. No. Everyone feel free to follow my Twitch in the description down below, so you guys do not miss out on any of the live streams coming up very soon. And we'll be reacting to the full episodes of these amazing British panel shows on Twitch. It's gonna be great, man. We're gonna be sitting here, me, you guys, the camera. We're just gonna be sitting here relaxing and, you know, being able to communicate with each other as well. And you guys can see some of my expressions live and hear out my thoughts live, and I can see what you guys are thinking live at that very moment. And that's just the amazing thing about going live. How many times did I just say live? Everyone, please continue to flood my comment section with more of these fabulous videos for us to check out, especially these wonderful British panel shows we have been reacting to lately. So many recommended. I think we have Would I Lie to You, The In-Betweeners, Taskmasters, and 8 out of 10 8 out of 10 Cats of Countdown? Did I say that right? Did I remember that name right? Please let me know in the comment section, guys, and forgive me if I said it wrong. 8 out of 10 Cats of Countdown? I think I said it right. But I have been enjoying all of these British panel shows, man, and I'm looking forward to reacting to more. Everyone stay safe, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video.